Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to your January 2016 love reading. It's Raina. And so I picked some wonderful cards for you, Capricorn. I think they're very promising in the area of love. I just looked up on my trusty ephemeris, and Venus is going into your sign on the 24th of January. So it's going to be in your sign, and that means that you will be more attractive to other people. So that's great. And so, anyway, the card that I picked to represent the recent past in terms of your love life was the Six of Cups in reverse. So, this may mean that some of you were kind of clinging to the past when it comes to relationships, whether it's a marriage or other long term relationship that went kaput, but you still couldn't get over it, and it was impeding your ability to really step into a new situation, or if you're going back to childhood or some idyllic time that everything was hunky dory and now you feel like everything sucks and, just in a pessimistic frame of mind. Luckily, this is the past because the present is the Ace of Cups. For some of you, this will have already come to pass. Maybe for some of you, it will happen after your new moon in Capricorn, which occurs on January 9th. But there is promise for love in the month of January. Of course, this is a general reading. So if you were to have a private reading, that would kind of pinpoint more details using your own personal birth data. I provide a link below for private readings. But otherwise, it's a wonderful card. It's an ace. So aces represent beginnings. And in this case, this is of an emotional nature, being of the suit of cups. So that's terrific. And the higher perspective, or the message from the universe, is the Ace of Rods. There again, aces. Rods or wands represent fire signs and enthusiasm, passion, creativity. And in this case, I think that it is asking of you to open yourself up to this new beginning in love. Be enthusiastic about it. Don't be hesitant. Don't be too concerned about what's going to happen. Let your hair down. Don't be too standoffish, because Capricorn is a sign that likes the tried and true and is very concerned about the viability of something. You have to open your heart and be vulnerable. And sometimes it's difficult for Capricorns because they can be controlling, they can be rigid, and it's hard for them to let people past that facade that can be very capable, professional, and reliable, but not necessarily spontaneous. And this card is a card of spontaneity, playfulness, and the higher message in all of this is to cultivate more of those traits. If this is a relationship that is worth having. And the advice is the Hangman card, and that's a major arcana, and that suggests that you will have to possibly let things cool off. It might not just be anchors away from the start. Maybe you meet somebody, but there are delays of some sort. Maybe they live far away geographically, or maybe they have to extricate themselves from another relationship, or there are just some other factors that do not allow for you to be together right away. And it could just be simply that this card is asking you to take it slowly and to really be present with everything as you get to know this other person, which is always, good advice. The Hangman card can also point to sacrifice that has to occur. And this could be that you have to give up something in order to be with this person. Maybe it's where you live. Maybe it's some aspect of your lifestyle has to change to bring this person in. And this would be particularly the case if you've already been in a relationship. The Ace of Cups doesn't mean that you're going to meet somebody in the month of January. You may have already met somebody and you're in the initial throes of the love affair. And the Hangman card can mean that you have to kind of give up something for the higher good of the relationship. The Hangman card also means let go and let God. So if there seems to be obstacles, that you don't try to kind of steamroll your way through them, but just allow the process to work out on its own. The potential obstacle is the Strength card in reverse, another major arcana. And in this context, I think that for you, the challenge is not to be that rigid person, that controlling person. You know, strength is not about control, strength is only about self control. But even within self control, there still is a need to show your vulnerability to other people and not to always appear like you are immune from feelings, immune from being scared ever or being insecure ever. Sometimes Capricorns convey this like amazing image, but it's not necessarily the truth. And it can be kind of lonely sometimes to be promoting an image that isn't who you really are, and then wondering if anyone would ever accept you, warts and all. And they would. But you have to be willing to allow other people in. And obviously, it takes a special person for you to do that with. So definitely choose wisely, but always remember that this is the joy of relationships, is the feeling that you are loved and accepted for who you are, not for who you pretend to be. The outcome is the Empress card, and I love this card for you. I think the Empress is associated with Cancer. I'm not really sure. It's the Earth Mother, so I tend to associate it with Taurus because it's really a card of, I was going to say self indulgence, but that's kind of a negative connotation. I would say just the pleasures of the flesh, the pleasures of life that come from enjoyment of the senses. And Capricorn is an earth sign. So you guys should be, very familiar with this kind of behavior, but you're not. You tend to be very controlled in what you allow yourself to enjoy. And this tends to make you very successful in your professional life because you tend to be quite disciplined. The only thing is that there's a time and place for everything, and everyone deserves to pamper themselves and to enjoy the fruits of their labor. And this goes to you too. Like in the chakra system, I would place Capricorn as being very active within the third chakra, which is the power chakra. And yet, I would associate the Empress with the second chakra, which is about pleasure, the emotional self. and creativity, but definitely sensations, sexuality, fertility, giving birth, being an actual literal mother. And if you are a creative person, this may be saying that this whole experience of falling in love may be really good for you in an artistic sense. Sometimes people feel very inspired when they are in love, but just in general, the pleasure principle and really honoring all parts of you and nurturing yourself. The Empress is the nurturer, but sometimes nurturers need to be nurtured. So this seems like a really great period of time for you, Capricorn. I hope you enjoyed your reading. And just click on the link below if you'd like a personal reading. Take care, you guys. Bye.